Hey, Jared, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself, Eddie?
Doing great, doing great. It's been a pleasure. Today, Jared, I want to talk to you about your sales qualified leads offer so that buyers viewing your service offer in the Cloudtus marketplace can decide whether they want to invite you to an interview for their service request or not. I just have three questions to cover with you today, so let's go ahead and get started. First question will be: who is the best fit for this service offer?
That's a great question, Eddie. And one of the things that I like to talk about is that our target client are companies who themselves sell to smaller companies that have a large addressable market. Let me give some examples that have worked really well in our experience.
Please.
Um, VoIP phone services. Every company needs to use the phone. Another example would be expense management. Every company needs in some way to do expense management or accounting, bookkeeping. What company doesn't need that? Whether you're small, whether you're large, it's addressable. It's easy. BPO. Let me give examples of that. Like almost every company could use help answering the phones, and we've had a lot of success with that. I also think, Eddie, it's important to contrast that with the types of companies that would take a little bit more effort from us that we as an organization have stayed a little bit away from because it's difficult to scale. So
Perfect.
companies with a little bit of a more targeted ICP is going to be mostly a little bit outside our wheelhouse. Let me give an example. IT is a huge industry. But at the end of the day, most very small companies, which are most companies out in the market, probably aren't using IT services or security services or very tailored headhunters. It's a huge industry. But when we go out to the percentage of companies that are
Mhm.
addressable for that, we're maybe looking at 10 or 15% of a cross section of US companies that are addressable for that. So what we want is something that like literally like 9 out of 10 companies they would have a use for.
Perfect. Excellent. That makes a lot of sense, which leads me to my next question, which is: what are the components of this service offer, these sales qualified leads?
That's a great question, Adi. I think the best way to go at this is to go through our process and the lead journey from start to finish. So you and anybody else who's watching this can get a 50th story view on what we do, what to expect, so on and so forth.
Perfect.
So, what we do is we start off with outbound marketing. And how do we do that? We do a lot of email, we do social media, we do a number of different levels of prospecting. Let me take an example. Let's say we're prospecting for VoIP phone systems. We might send messaging, let's say email messaging, about the cost, benefits, and savings of VoIP, and we'll let companies know, hey, we can do this for you. Or maybe it's payroll services like, hey, we could help streamline your payroll. Now, the first step in this is a company's going to positively engage with us. What does that mean? So let's say we're marketing VoIP phone services. They might send an email back to us. Hey, we've got 5 phone lines. Please give me a call. I'm interested in talking. Or sure, what is your pricing? Or does your phone system do that? Or let's say it's bookkeeping. Hey, do you also file taxes? Or hey,
Mhm.
just call me. So we get a number of different responses. Some of them are a little bit further down the funnel. Some of them are just starting their buyer journey. But no matter what, they go to our second stage, which means that we don't just take these responses and send them to clients. We actually call and verify them with our in house phone team to make sure that we qualify them for needs and intent. So we're going to ask them a battery of questions, right? Like, are you in a contract right now for more than 90 days? If this is something that sounds good to you, would you be open to moving in the next 30 days? What's the best phone number? What's the best email address to reach you? Where are you located? Depending on what it is that we're marketing, we're going to switch up the questions just a little bit. But in
Right.
any case, once we verify that this is a sales qualified lead, what we do is we let them know where they are going next and what to expect. Let me give an example. Let's say our client is Acme Company. So we're going to end that call with, great, it looks like the best fit for your needs is Acme Company. Here's what's going to happen next. We're going to send your information over to are contact at Acme Company. They're going to be getting in touch with you via phone, via email. So please look out for those calls and emails. Have a great day and look forward to hearing what comes of this. And that's it, A to Z. So just to tie it all together, these are companies that we have done outbound marketing to. We've let them know what it is that we're offering. They've engaged positively. We've called them. We've screened and verified them for needs and intent. We have told them where they are going next, and they're expecting to speak with you. And I'll add one more thing. When we do deliver these leads to you, first of all, we can deliver directly to your Salesforce, CRM, marketing automation. And on top of that, we'll make sure that you get a notification email in real time. I mean, speed to lead, we're getting these interactions out to you as soon as we possibly can. I hope that does a thorough job in answering for you, Eddie.
That's fantastic, Jared. Yes, very good context. If anything, I would like to get a little bit more color on how you get your clients informed about performance results. Are there any type of, aside from the automated email that prompts you to strike when the iron's hot, is there any other type of dashboard or report that they get to see the progress and what's going on in the campaign?
That's a great question, Eddie. And one of the things that I want to clarify, and for anybody watching this, I think this is a pretty big distinguisher. With a lot of services, what you're paying for is activity, where we need to send you deliverables for what you are getting for that activity, right? In this case, we don't charge for activity. If we don't produce, we don't charge, meaning that we're only billing for qualified leads that we send you, which you get as the output. Now, you talked about performance, and that's something that I would like to talk about, because when it comes to performance, Upcision is pretty aligned with our clients. And what that means is that our client success is what enables growth and consistency in the accounts. So there are some things that we do ask for clients. And the reason we ask for these things is so clients can have a successful outcome, which means that we're retaining them longer, we're growing the account to the mutual benefit of everybody. So with performance, one thing that we do ask is getting on top of leads as quickly as possible. Speed to lead is so important, A. B, another thing that we find that successful clients do, they're making touches early and often. One thing you really want to stay away from is calling a lead one or two times, sending an email, and then never trying to reach them again. Because these prospects, as you can imagine, you're probably a decision maker or decision influencer at your company. You've got a lot of stuff going on, and you might miss that email or miss that call. But our clients were really successful. They're very thorough with the touches, and they're well organized, and they're making sure that when they email and when they call, that they are addressing the lead's journey so they know exactly who they're talking to. As far as how do we engage with that performance, 3, 4, 5 days into us delivering leads, we're going to call you. We're going to ask, like, are you making contact with these leads? How's that going? When you get on the phone with these leads, are they receptive? Because when we work together and when we over communicate and we work in tandem, we can make sure that we're optimizing the performance of our clients so they, A, get the most out of it. B, they're happy with the service, that they want to continue the service. And C, our goal, and I won't hide this, is that they're telling us, hey, let's scale up next month. Let's double our lead flow next month. So we're aligned in that. I hope that does a thorough job of addressing what you asked, Eddie.
Yeah, rather than getting specific numbers on dials or etc., you're just reporting, listen, these are leads that have matched the qualification criteria, and therefore make sure you work with them quickly. It's kind of like the takeaway for
early and often as well. Early and often. And we'll be there because, I mean, one thing is we make sure that our clients are aligned to the best processes, because the last thing that we want is a client to miss opportunities that could have been profitable for them and have made our collective experience working together that much better.
Yeah, leaving money on the table is not definitely a good behavior. Excellent. So my last question for today, Jared, is going to be, what can a client normally expect when it's the first 120 days of them buying the service from you? Tell us a little bit of that ramp up time and how that looks like.
Great. So once we get started, what we'll do is we will run an onboarding meeting. And basically, with that, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the lead delivery to your CRM, to your marketing automation. We're going to send over test leads and make sure that before we send leads in real time, that we have everything up and running, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. Usually within about a week, we can start delivering unless it's some sort of customized campaign that's a little bit outside of what we normally do. But for 90% of you, we can get started usually pretty quick within 1 or 2 weeks. As far as what to expect in the first 120 days, sort of revisiting the fact that we work on an output model and not an activity model. So you'll start seeing leads pretty soon. And as far as what to expect in the first 120 days, a lot of that's going to come down to your sales cycle. I know for some of you, the sales cycle is pretty quick. It could be a few days, a week. For some of you, the sales cycle is a little bit longer. But I think what you'll all have in common is this, and even within the first week, are you making contact with people? And B, are they interested and receptive to what you are selling when you get them on the phone? Are you having quality interactions? As far as the mileage in the first 120 days, again, a lot of that's going to go based off of your sales cycle, your sales agents, what your process looks like. But what you'll all have in common is well before the first 120 days, you're going to be speaking with prospects who are genuinely interested to hear what you have to say and are open to what it is that you can offer them.
Excellent, Jared. All right, that's very good information. Thank you, Jared, for providing more details about your sales qualified leads so that buyers viewing this service in the CloudTools Marketplace can decide whether they want to invite you for an interview for their service request or not. Jared, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eddie.